Yes, hey, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy, girls. I know it's been a minute ever since we last had the live stream, but hey, I've been getting so many questions about postpartum weight gain, and I have an amazing guest today who has gone through motherhood. I want her to share with us her experience with weight gain during pregnancy, post-pregnancy, and how she has managed to keep in shape regardless of her having two babies or three of them, and she still looks so good. So let me know all of your questions in the chat below. She'll be answering all those questions. I'll be putting all the questions to her so that you can have all these tips to yourself. So my amazing guest is already here. She's called Lisa Kusiima. She has a YouTube channel too. You can pass by and support her. By the way, if you have any relationship stress or anything regarding marriage, you want all the marriage tips, please pass by her YouTube channel. I'll link all the YouTube channel and links to the in the description below so that you can check her out. So without wasting time, let me introduce my guest to you. Oh my god. Good afternoon, Lisa. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. No, I haven't had you before, by the way, but I'm excited to have you on my channel for the first time. What's
Yeah.
up? How are you doing? How have you been up to? How's that going? How is motherhood?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Lisa Kusiima. I'm a content creator on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and I share content on marriage, mothering, parenting, homemaking, generally building strong families. So I'm excited to be here to share my experience. I'm not a professional, but I'm just sharing what worked for me, and maybe it could work for you. So yeah, I'm excited.
So first things first, Lisa, did you gain weight while having your first pregnancy?
Yes, I gained so much weight. For my first, I gained so I was about 64 kilograms on my wedding day, 63, 64. And I had a honeymoon baby. So immediately I was pregnant. By the time I gave birth, I was about 83. So yes, a lot of weight. I put on a lot of weight. Mm. And the
83
same with
kilo,
my second. Yeah, and the same with my second. It was
83
about
kilograms
83.
from 60 something. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I used to eat. The baby was demanding. Yeah.
Yes, so first years, what do you think you gained like all that almost that's like 17 kilograms? What do you attribute it to? Because I know your baby could not weigh above 5 kilograms after delivery.
Yeah. So of course, being the first pregnancy, you're shocked with all these hormones, the swelling, the water retention, but also the hunger pangs are serious. And you get into a stage where you're so hungry that you just keep, like, it was my first child, so I was not very strategic with the things I was eating. I would eat cassava, pizza, like anything that would fill my stomach is what I would go with. And before I knew it, the weight was like a lot. Yeah. Then, of course, swelling and all these things that just come with pregnancy. It happens, but it's because I wasn't really keen on the things I was eating during the pregnancy. That's why I put on weight. Mm.
Are you that kind of mother who also had a lot of cravings during pregnancy? Special
Yeah.
cravings, unique cravings of certain foods?
I would, especially salty things. So cassava, chapatis, and all those are carbs. So they would just sit and feel. Yeah. So I did. For my son, it was more salty things. For my daughter, I think more sugary, but I was more aware of the weight, and I had already lost all the weight from my son. So I was starting from a clean slate. So yeah, it was easier to handle because of the knowledge that I had. Mm.
Okay, so first pregnancy is done, baby delivered. How many kilograms after delivering the baby did you find yourself with?
Like immediately after delivering.
Okay, not immediate, but postpartum, really, after
Post-
removing the baby, how many kilograms are you at?
So I struggled a bit. I I reached about 70, after a few months, because I try to put in measures to make sure I lose the weight. So about 70, but then I finally reached about 68, around there, which wasn't as bad. Yeah. So I didn't ever go back to 63, but at least I tried to go back to the 60s. Yeah, that was more manageable.
Okay, so let's dive in. Let's dive into it right now. So, what really worked for you, especially when you're trying to go back to your initial weight
Mm,
before
mm.
pregnancy? Which did you change the eating habits? Did you move more? What did you exactly do?
Okay, so for me, this is what worked for me. Immediately after I gave birth, of course, breastfeeding, because they say breastfeeding also helps with weight loss for some people. So breastfeeding, but then 1 month after giving birth, I used a waist trainer. Yeah. So I'm not a medical personnel, but this is what worked for me. Yeah. So I used a waist trainer to just snap that that stomach first of all, to just give me a boost. I never use a waist trainer for long. I usually do it for only a month. And then I would use it for like 6 hours every day, 6 to 8 hours every day. Like I wake up, put on that waist trainer for 6 hours non-stop, then get it out, and then I sleep and things like that. So I usually do that after a month because I want the uterus to first go back to its natural state. And then when I make when I make 3 months, then I start to exercise. So for my first, am I still on?
Yeah, you're on and
Okay.
audible.
So for my first, I didn't exercise too much, but I did something called portion control.
What?
Now I got into the habit of limiting the food that I would take. So I know lots of breastfeeding mothers are put on porridge, eat, drink flasks of porridge, etc. But I looked for other ways to stimulate my breast milk that wasn't porridge, because porridge can be fattening. You drink porridge and before you know it, you're like something else. So, hello?
Yes, you're on.
Okay. So I try to cut down on the porridge, especially as the baby grows older. I cut down on the porridge, look for other things that stimulate breast milk, fenugreek, Milo, like try all things that work, but I think first priority should be the child. Don't put yourself under so much pressure when you're trying to lose weight that you neglect the child's needs, but just look for alternatives if you can. Yeah. So I did a lot of portion control. So if I usually serve matoke, beans, that whole platter. You go for lunch and you just do the whole thing. I would just like remove half, even in my serving, serve with a half mindset. Then I would eat that. So in the beginning, it was hard. It was really hard. But the stomach actually adjusts. And then you find yourself eating lesser portions. And then that's how I lost weight. So waist training was the first thing I put in place, then portion control, which is very key, and then a bit of exercise. I love to dance. So I used to go for sukuma and all these dance things that really helped me. But then also another thing is drinking a lot of water. So I learned that when you drink a lot of water, you kind of, the mind, you trick it that as if you're full, so that the food that you eat is a bit less. So drinking a lot of water and things like that. So that's what really helped me for the first.
And
But
actually, what's funny before even coach, people do not differentiate between hunger and thirst.
mm,
And every time I always tell my clients, every time you feel hungry, first drink some water. If the
yes,
water you drink quenches your hunger and thirst, just know it was not hunger, it was actually a thirst. And most people actually end up eating more calories thinking they are quenching their hunger. Kumbe, it's just been, hunger, not it's been thirst, not hunger. So
mm,
people do not want to drink water.
it's hard. It's hard, but I had to learn to drink a lot of water because, of course, even when you're trying to put out the porridge, even water actually helps you promote breast milk. So when you're looking for alternatives, I try to look for so many alternatives that were not going to make me put on so much weight. Because for me, there's one thing I vowed: I will never have a big stomach. Like for me, I said many things I can't control. When I'm pregnant, I can't control my nose becoming fat.
Yeah.
I can't control, there's so many things you can't control. But I
I know.
said, the stomach, surely this one I can manage. Let me do everything I can. So even with a second pregnancy, you find that many moms will say, let me first finish giving birth, then I'll lose weight.
Oh my God.
Worst mistake, because the weight keeps piling, piling. And
Yes.
after your fourth child, you're like this big, and it's really hard to take it off. So for my second child, I still did what I did before, but I put in a lot of, I did like a 30-day exercise challenge.
Okay.
And I know when you've just given birth, it's hard. You're going through postpartum issues, the baby, and all this sleep. But then I vowed that let me do a 30-day challenge, and I got a program that was really helpful. Just doing about 8 minutes of exercise every day.
Mhm.
Don't do too much. Those things of 1 hour, what? Because when you do 1 hour, tomorrow you won't want to do. So just 8 minutes every day. Find a time, either early morning or in the evening when the baby is maybe resting or you've delegated, and do those exercises. Do those the bit of cardio, because people try to run away from cardio. They try to start with abs exercises, but you see, it won't work because you have to lose fat everywhere. And then it's actually with my second that I discovered something called diastasis recti, which is causing us not to lose that belly fat. It's the biggest
Mhm.
struggle. But I didn't know about it even with my first. I only
Yes.
found out about it with my second. So people may be wondering, what is diastasis recti? This is where your abs separate. So as
Yeah.
our growing bellies keep growing and growing, the abs kind of separate, and you get like that hole, like a gap between your abs. And what that means is that even if you do crunches and all those ab exercises, if there's a gap within your abs, it's going to be very hard for that mommy push to go. You'll find people, they have lost weight, but there's still that car basto as if, and that's because of diastasis recti. So the moment I found out that I had about a 3-finger separation with diastasis. So when you check, it was about two and a half, a bit, yeah. So when you check your abs, when you lie down and check, you find either you have 2 finger, one. Some people can even have a fist, and that is really extreme. So don't start doing all those ab exercises before you find out if you have diastasis or not. And then you try to bridge that gap. Yeah, I've said too much. Let me first hand over to you.
One, I'm so happy that when you give birth as a mother, you do research about your own body. So most mothers, they don't want to read. Mothers, they don't want to make research. They just sit down and eat and eat and eat and eat, and then weight is out of control, and then they are asking gym trainers, what can I do? But then all this information is out there on internet. All these videos we put there on internet, and I'm sure you discovered there's this thorough reading. You went on internet, but most people do not want to read. And
Yeah.
all I can tell my mother is knowledge is just so powerful. It's just so powerful, and so about the aesthetics, so there's something that most people don't want to believe up to now. People do not want to believe that for you to gain weight, you must be eating a lot of food. No one should lie that you're going to gain weight when you're not eating enough food. That can never happen. You must be eating more than what you're burning. If you eat 2,000 calories today and you only expend 1,000, just know that 1,000 has gone into storage. So no one should lie you like, oh my God, I'm gaining so much weight and I'm not eating enough. Yes, you might not be eating enough, but then whatever you're eating, you're burning less of that. So that one you should have it number one. And the reason why most people gain weight during pregnancy, number one, is they taking extra calories. So as they taking extra calories, remember they reduce on their activity level. They need enough rest. Some of them are even having sleepless nights. They have pelvic pain. So first of all, lack of sleep itself contributes to weight gain, and now then you're snacking a lot. So that's how most people come up with all this kind of weight. But then there's also thyroid stress that you have no control over, your progesterone hormones and others, you have no control over that. So Whatever you don't have control over it, just leave it. Whatever you have control over, please work on it. But then one thing you have to understand is that as a pregnant mother, it's natural that you're going to gain weight. Even if you're not eating enough, you are going to gain weight because your body knows, hey, there's someone I'm nurturing inside there. They need to eat. You see, when you're pregnant, your body does not pause that, let me wait for you, you eat, whatever you eat, it's what I'm going to feed the baby. No, your body has to make you gain all that fat so that your baby is safe. So that when you don't eat, your baby can still feed. If there's a period of hunger, your baby cannot starve. I have my women in the village. Some of these women, they go maybe days without food, some of them, but then
Yeah.
they produce healthy babies because the body knows how to handle that. And that's why it's natural that as a woman, you're going to gain weight when you get pregnant, whether you're eating a lot or not. So some people, they say, oh my God, I need to eat a lot so that my other baby can also get enough
Eating
food.
for two.
Eating for two, but it doesn't actually work that way because evolution is very, very, very important. I mean, we all don't know how it happens. God is just so amazing. It's natural that as a woman, you must preserve some fat that is going to feed the baby. And the extra calories to feed the baby, most of them, of course, they come from the fat that you have already stored. So
Yeah.
do not always worry. And then most of them, even after giving birth, they think they need to eat a lot so that they can get all this breast milk and, but you end up eating more than what you really want. And some of the foods they're eating, they're not really important when it comes to the manufacture of breast milk. They're eating a lot of unhealthy foods, sugary foods, a lot of salty foods, and all these, they are nowhere close when it comes to the production of breast milk. So really, I think it's just the knowledge gap that exists around
Yeah,
there.
I hear you, but also being pregnant and having gone through even all that, it's hard. It's really hard. You get this hunger that an apple is not going to feel. Even if you ate a whole pineapple, like what I'm going through right now, I'm at a stage where the hunger is so crazy. I eat an apple and it's like just disappears. Like there's a hole somewhere. But when you eat like rice, there at least it sits and then you feel so much better. So I get that, but sometimes our bodies are demanding for so much that
Yes, and now that's where it comes. You see, you're eating an apple right now. There's also why you're eating an apple, why you didn't get a chocolate. You understand? At the end of the day, even when you're pregnant, the foods you're choosing, they have to be healthy foods. Let them be like low caloric dense foods, like an apple, like what you've eaten. It has a few calories, but then it is so filling compared to a chocolate or a burger or any other snack that you're going to get. So what I'm saying is, yes, there's all this hunger, but how are you managing your hunger? So instead of, fixing your hunger with all these salty foods, sugary foods, beverages, pick out those healthy, high fiber content foods and then fix your hunger. Because I know hunger really strikes. I've been hungry before, I know how it feels. But then
you don't know this one. This one is too much.
this one, and that's why I wanted someone who has an experience in this.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
haven't been this. I will never go through this. So I'm thinking instead of snacking with a donut, snack with an apple. You see, one apple has around 100 calories. Has around 50 calories and 100 grams. But one donut has around 400 calories and then has the same grams as an apple. So it's
I
actually
know.
4 times more
But
than an apple.
you
So
see, what I'm saying is I'm eating this apple, but I'm still hungry. Like I'm eating it like, eh? But it doesn't feel. It's like it's doing nothing for me. Yeah. So even if I ate a whole bowl of pineapple or whatever, it just is not working. There's this hunger that just gives you, and bread can fix it because it's more filling somehow. So I hear you. Of course, yes, the knowledge is important, and that is why I'll sneak in an apple here and there. But sometimes you are dying of hunger, and something which is heavier is the one that's going to kind of get you feel relieved. So I understand pregnant women or
and I'm told that when you're pregnant, you have specific foods which really fix your hunger.
yes,
So like every food can actually fix your hunger. If it means
Exactly.
looking, if it means climbing the mountain and then look for this specific food, you have to do so so that you get it.
Yes, that's so true. Your body can refuse. Like sometimes I'm eating something and it's not working. Like you feel like you want something else. So sometimes, yeah, there are those cravings. Then sometimes other food is just causes nausea and things like that. So I really understand when pregnant women put in things that are, not as healthy, but like, are feeling. Right now, the thing that works for me is like cereal. I eat a lot of cereal because when I eat the cereal, I feel, yeah, it can take me like another hour. But if I eat like now, like porridge, if I try even take porridge, for me, porridge even didn't work for me because it just disappears. It's like I'm just drinking water. So you end up eating more because you're trying to look for something that is just going to solve your hunger issue. Because if you get hungry, the nausea is going to come in. You're going to throw up. Then there is bloating. Like there's so much we are going through that choosing a healthy meal may be the last on the list.
I understand now. I understand.
Yeah.
So then there's this type of mothers that for them they know I want to get pregnant next year and have a little bit of some pounds on me that are really so extra. So they tend to plan in advance. They actually lose the weight they can before they can actually get pregnant. Have you met such kind of mothers who really think about their bodies before they get pregnant?
Yeah, they are there. Like you try to, because everyone knows when you get pregnant, you're going to put on a lot of weight. So some people try to, it's like going for a wedding. When you're going to get married, you start working out so that by the time the wedding comes, you're in shape. So even for pregnancy, that's it. Some people begin to prepare early to be in shape and be fit, so that when the time comes, you are active. It doesn't hit you as hard. So if you're like normally like us who are just sitting in offices or sitting at home, when pregnancy comes in, you become even more lazy. Like fatigue gives you and then you just can't do anything. I've been trying to exercise since I got pregnant, but you just wake up and say, how am I going to do this? And you're like, let me just sleep because you are tired. But people who are more active, it also helps. I hear it helps some people be, you don't get as much nausea and things like that. But especially for like the first trimester, it's hard. And they usually say, try and rest, try and get a few walks here and there as you wait for some energy to kick in the second trimester and things like that. But it's hard. So if you're fit, it's even better. Mm.
Let's talk about exercise during pregnancy briefly. Because I understand if you've been doing like your cardio before pregnancy, or when you get pregnancy, there's some exercises that you have to wipe out. So do you even see gynecologists before you start on your exercise, or some people just jump in, hey, I'm pregnant, but I want to continue with my exercise routine?
Yeah. It's safer to, of course, consult your gynecologist because every pregnancy is different. Some pregnancies are more at risk. So you shouldn't just say, I'm pregnant, so let me just do so better you first do some research before you just jump into exercise because you end up doing things that are so strenuous and then you can either lose the child or things like that. So always consult your guide, your doctor, but get exercises that are tailored for pregnant women. But still always ask your doctor because some people are at risk for miscarriages or had pregnancies and they advise them to just rest. So always consult. Don't just jump into any exercise that you see because you want to get fit. And also, one thing I've learned is to listen to my body. If I am tired, I stop. Whether the trainer on the other end is still going, what these people do the exercise every day. So for you, you've come first time, you want to match their pace. Like, oh my God, I'm not, and then it can stress your body. So listen to your body, try and be active. I know it's hard. I'm struggling as well. But the second trimester is always so much easier. So you can push in maybe more exercises then. But always, of course, talk to your doctor. Yeah.
So still during the stage of pregnancy, at what stage does really hunger come in and you can
almost immediately in the first trimester, because the body is producing, it needs a lot of energy to make this baby, to form this baby. That's the biggest process. Like, it's the critical process. The organs are growing, the limbs, the fingers, all this is happening in the first trimester. So you need a lot. Hunger is crazy. Right now I'm hungry, and not just hungry, like, you feel this hunger is too much. So hunger kicks in as soon as development starts. You begin to feel more hungry than usual. So yeah.
pregnancy goes on, people will tend to, there's something we call gravidarum, especially people who tend to, their bodies cannot cope up with certain foods. They have this excessive vomiting and all that they can't handle. You find mothers like almost a whole trimester, she's going through chronic stress, she's not sleeping, and of course you're eating at the same time. And like I said, lack of sleep is the major contributor of weight gain. So has it happened to you before? Have you struggled to get enough sleep while you are pregnant?
Yes, for me, it usually happens in the first and maybe last trimester. So first trimester, because you're waking up too much to go use the toilet, because for some reason the bladder, maybe I think the baby is pushing down on the bladder, so you keep having to go. And then you're kind of adjusting your sleep arrangement, because when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to sleep on your back, and then you can't sleep on your tummy because the boobs are sore, but then also the belly. So it's all those adjustments that can cause you to lose sleep. And also, so many dreams. Like in the first trimester, you get so many dreams. You're here, and then the next minute you're this. Like, it's so real and vivid, and then you keep waking up, and then there's pelvic pain.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's
mm, mm.
I know.
This one, pelvic pain can start from late second trimester all through to the last trimester. You literally, as you turn, the pain is excruciating. As you stand to walk, deadly. As you walk to the toilet, like, the pelvic pain is so much. So sleep really does reduce sometimes, for some people, not all. Personally, I had a lot of, I think it was pelvic something disorder, where your pelvic kind of, because the hormones cause the pelvis to
Yeah.
loosen, so
And
they keep grinding on each other, and
yeah.
that pain is excruciating. So you can't sleep well. You keep having to wake up as you're trying to turn, as it's, yeah. So all that contributes to our weight. Some things we can't control. Yes, I know it's eating, but some things is
Yeah.
hormones and all this stuff. Yeah.
Especially if you are prime gravida, like pelvic pain. I mean, if you're giving birth to your first baby, pelvic pain is inevitable. You can't.
Mm.
Your body's experiencing something new. Those bones are trying to create some space for the baby, especially when it kicks into around 8 months, 7 months, when the baby is trying to descend down and pushing those bones apart. I know that pain. Sometimes it's not really bearable. And then you come to the hospital, we tell you, please don't take diclofenac, don't take ibuprofen. You can only take a Panadol, and look at the Panadol like, oh
Panel
my
doesn't
God, how
work.
can Panadol be working? And like, oh my
Yeah,
God. So,
it's crazy.
I fully understand. I fully
Mm.
understand that. So there's something I wanted to ask about waist trainers. In your opinion, honest opinion, do you think waist trainers work?
They work. I think for me, they have worked for me for both my children. The first time I got a waist trainer, I used this one, the usual half one. But for the second one, I got a full vest. Like, it kind of covers the whole back, and then the stomach. So you really have to get one that fits you. The challenge is, some people get either something that's too loose or something that is too tight, that you end up literally crushing yourself. Yeah. So it's fitting is very important, but again, consult. So for me, it works for me. What I usually do is, I put on something before I don't attach it to my skin, because it creates a lot of itching and a lot of discomfort. So you put on maybe a vest, and then you wear it on top of it, And don't get addicted to it, because some people now begin to wear a waist trainer forever. I only use a waist trainer for 1 month to give me like a boost, because the stomach is so just give you a boost to push go back, then you start working out to kind of get rid of that stomach completely. But of course, there are many views on waist training. Some say it's not healthy, etc. So me, I'm not a health expert. Maybe you tell us. But for me,
So,
it
so,
works
so
for
for
me.
me, this is my take on waist trainers. Waist trainers, should I call it like a compliment? You see the way you're saying that yes, you had to do everything to make sure that you lose weight, especially the belly fat. Is that you also like you took the basic steps, and the basic steps controlling your calories, portion sizes, and everything, and that's the foundation of it. Then the waist trainer comes in to hold on your belly from sagging, because you just delivered all your belly is just so sagging, and you need something to hold it together so that you can move on. But then the most important thing is having the foundation. So some people, they think waist trainer is everything. It's going to do everything. They don't mind about the foods they eat, and that's where they end up getting disappointed with the waist trainers. So you find them someone. That's why some get addicted is they don't control their diet. They think a waist trainer will do everything. So 2 months down the road, when they put off the waist trainer, the belly is still there. It's still sagging. It's not going anywhere. And they're like, to hell, I have to keep, putting on this waist trainer. 3 months,
Mm,
4 months, the belly is not going anywhere. They keep on the waist trainer. So that's where the waist trainer becomes
yeah,
useless. So you have to have the
yeah.
foundation right for the waist trainer to work, especially as a pregnant, as a postpartum mother. You're going to have that belly. It's a must. You're going to have it, and you want to go to public, and you want to wear your dresses. So our trainer will come in and fix, but make sure that you get the other foundation of
Mm,
losing belly fat right, and that
yeah,
is controlling your caloric intake. You
true.
cannot our trainer cannot work when you're not controlling your diet. Okay, no one should argue that a waist trainer is going to burn fat. It does not burn
No,
fat at
it
all.
can't,
There's no
because it
mechanic.
can't burn your arm fat. It can't burn your thighs. It can't burn your. It can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when it comes to burning fat, you can't spot reduce fat. When you start losing fat, you lose fat your entire body. And what's funny is the body where like the spot you want to target always comes out last, because your body cannot just say, I'm going to lose belly fat fast before I lose fat
Mm,
on my face, on my arms. Your belly is going to come last. So it's a matter
yeah.
of patience and then putting into the work. But a
Mm,
waist trainer is going to help you for that first 1 month, making sure that your belly is not, here and there, just holding it tight. So that's basically my take on the waist trainer. But
yeah.
for some people who really are not postpartum mothers, I have no excuse for them for putting on a waist trainer. These young girls who are buying waist trainers, and they don't want to go through the right path for losing weight and fat. For those ones, I don't have kind words for them, really.
Oh no, but it's hard. It's hard. So for me, yeah, I use the waist trainer to give me a boost, and after that, I keep it, and then I actually do the exercise. When I had my daughter, I did after 3 months. I started because it was quarantine time, so it helped because I was home. I did a 30-day challenge. For 30 days. I was consistent. I did exercise, not long exercises, tops 15 minutes, cardio. You have to incorporate. People don't want cardio. They always want they quickly just go for ab exercises, these ones, what crunches, so that they quickly lose the belly fat. But then, like you've said, you have to lose weight everywhere. So cardio helps with that, and changing your exercise up. If you do the same exercise, your body gets used. I did some research, and like every
And
day
I
you
always
run.
tell my clients that the moment that exercise becomes so easy for you, it's just to be an exercise. You're just doing
Mhm.
something for fun. And exercise is
Yeah.
supposed to be challenging. And one thing about cardio is just for you to lose weight, but it's good for your heart, for your
Mm.
lungs, for your entire body. So it's very important to incorporate in some cardio. But meanwhile, there's some
Yeah.
people in the chat here. I see Lynn Quicheriza, thanks for coming. It's been a while. I see Liz. I see Gloria. If you're a mother, by the way, if you want to join the stream, please, Lisa has a few minutes to leave. If you want to continue with the discussion, please let me know. Then I share with you the link so that you can quickly join in. You also share with us your experience. People have different,
Yeah.
experiences. So I want you to just look into the camera and talk to a Ugandan, a woman living somewhere in Kampala around there. The kind of foods as a pregnant mother postpartum are supposed to eat, help them lose weight. The kind of food that worked for you, and you think these ones, I think they really helped me in one way or the other.
So for me, like I mentioned, I didn't. Okay, one thing first of all, know your body type. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is that we copy and paste. One thing that helped me is I knew my body type. So you should know that, do you put on weight easy? Because some people put on weight easier than others. Others lose weight faster than others. So for me, it wasn't really about the food that I ate. For me, it was about the portions that I ate. For me, portion control works like magic. So know your body type. For me, I can eat rice, I can eat chapati, but I'm not going to eat, two chapatis, then 3 pieces of chicken. No, I'll eat 1 piece of chicken. I'll not finish a whole chapati because now my stomach has kind of like reduced because I used to do portion control and now it's used. So I will not eat a lot. So for me, it's not really the type of food. So know your body type. So what I've learned is that carbs, of course, the more carbs you eat, sometimes can contribute to the weight. So things like rice, spaghetti, and especially in the evening. Most times people eat dinner at 9, at 10, people are cooking supper. For us at home, 6:30 is when we eat food. So we're about to eat food. And then you sleep. So the body has enough time to digest and things like that. So that's a routine that I put in my home to help me, but also to help my family. So don't just be eating pasta at 9. Where is it going to go? Nowhere. It's just going to enter the body and you just put on weight. So things like rice, pasta, chapatis, and all those things, of course, have a high calorie intake. So know your body, what works, what doesn't work. For me, it's portion control. So understand your body. That's what I can say. Because there are small people who will eat all kinds of things, but will never put on weight. But again, still not healthy because sometimes we perceive smallness for health, which is not the case. So, yeah, less calories for me is what works. That's what I can say. But don't forget, if you've been pregnant before, please check for diastasis recti. For me, I found it to be a life changer for my weight loss. So, and it takes time to try and close that gap because I realized that people who have given birth before still experience like leakages. You're jumping and then some capi comes out because the pelvic muscles are not strong, the transverse abdominis is weak. Like all those things contribute to the way you look. So diet, some exercise, but most importantly, diet. That's what I can say.
Yeah, don't forget those pelvic floor exercises. I mean, having your first baby, your second, you want to have the third, the fourth, the fifth. Just make sure that your your pelvis is basically very strong. I did make sure that those ligaments are really strong. So it's really important to do some exercise even before the pregnancy, before even like we said, okay, there's some people who get pregnant, all of a sudden you find yourself you're pregnant. But if you know your thing about getting pregnant, work on these things, start a little bit of some exercise, especially pelvic floor exercises, so that when the pregnancy comes in, finds your pelvis when it's really a little bit stronger, so that even after giving birth, your pelvis is not really there, shake. Then you're having bladder incontinence. That's how we call it. You're there walking, and then it's 6 months, and then you can still have a little bit of some incontinences. Some people are giving birth because of a weak pelvic floor. They get fistulas, which is really the worst bit of it. You don't want to eat there. Please have some exercise just for the good of your pelvis. At least for me, my pelvis, I work out, I do all those heavy squats, but it's not going to carry anything. It's not even for sure. No one is even going to look at it. But for you, your gynecoid pelvis, please It needs to be preserved for someone out there. If you have any questions you want to ask Lisa, please ask any questions. Are you seeing some people in the chat? They're actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any questions in the chat, please, Lisa is there. You can ask her some questions before she leaves. She has a few minutes to leave to go and take care of the kids. Let me see if there is any question. Liz is saying consistency is what matters most. Um, you want a whole loaf and expect to look like a banana. Okay. See the chart. Not really a big question. Um, so Lisa, I want to let you go in a second, but I want you to leave us with some parting shots, like some things people should really emphasize on again as you leave the stream to go and take care of the kids.
Yeah. If you're pregnant, I think have mercy on yourself. Sometimes we put too much pressure. Both pregnancy and postpartum. Please, your body has gone through a lot. I think that's one thing the pressures of this world forget, that our bodies have gone through so much. We have brought life into the world. So they shouldn't put pressure on us on losing the weight and doing all these things immediately. It starts with the mind. So have a goal that you want to achieve and then be disciplined. I think that's the one thing that has helped me. If I set my mind on something, I will be disciplined and I will, go for it. So, like I've mentioned, one thing I've refused to accept in life is a big stomach. So, I will do everything in my power to make sure that I don't get it. Yeah. So, have a goal. What is your goal? Set your mind to eat and achieve it. Don't try to lose weight after having 7 children or 4 children. Please try to lose weight after every other child, after every child, so that the weight does not really go out of hand. And then be healthy. Try to be healthy. Yeah. Don't, I know cravings come in and sometimes you're craving this and craving that, but before you know it, the weight is too much. It can lead to pressure. It can lead to all these things. So try and be healthy. Have cravings once in a while, but don't overdo it. And then pace yourself. It's your own race, please. It's not, for everyone. We're all running different races. We have different body types. So don't compare yourself with others and say, oh my God, how come this one lost weight and for me I've not? Take your time, but have a goal. So if you don't have a goal, there's nothing to work towards. That's all that I can say.
Thank you. Since you're a relationship expert, there's something I'm going to ask you as you leave. Does weight gain have anything when it comes to preserving a man in relationship? Anything, since you are a relationship for the sake of that, do I
So,
understand some of us,
one thing I can say, is men are visual beings. That's something we can't do anything about. They are visual beings. So they like what they see. But again, you have given life, literally. So I think patience, you need to have an understanding spouse who knows that it's not easy. In fact, if men would give birth, they would be dead, because they get a flu and they just want to die. Yeah. So pace yourself. Yes. Again, like I've mentioned, don't, sometimes women, we over pity ourselves and then we leave ourselves to go. You find and Castor have given birth 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and someone has just lost it. We need to keep things spicy in even our marriages. He saw you the way you were, he was attracted to you, and of course he can adjust. Attraction, can change. Yeah, you've given life to his child, and of course men need to be more patient with us, but don't overdo it and say that Castor have given birth and then you leave things. Please work on yourselves. I keep telling ladies, keep looking nice. So if I can tell you to keep looking nice, I'm at home, but wear some lipstick. Like try kale lip balm. How much more weight? Even weight. Try to, don't overdo it. And then you find yourself, like you look at your wedding picture and they can't even put them together. Like you're different. Of course, there'll be changes. Of course, we have to change. but let it not be too much, because the truth is men are visual beings. That's it. So communicate with your spouse, support each other. How can you support me to lose this weight? Is it paying for gym? Is it paying for an instructor? Is it paying for internet? Like, work together. So it's a team effort. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking that. For example, I have so many friends of my age, many girls I went to school with, and when I met them like now, oh my God, they look like they're 37, 36, 34, and we're just in our late 20s. I'm like, you girls, like, and they are like, like maybe second, like second baby, third baby. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And they know this how weight makes you age faster. I don't know. Like someone is like 24, but because of the weight, when you look at them, it gives an impression like they are 30. And I'm like,
Mm.
Jesus Christ, is like something has to be done. Like someone there has to educate these women that for you to keep looking younger, you just have to work on yourself.
I The truth is, it's hard. It takes a lot of discipline, consistency. It's all about the mind, because we've given birth, so we know the body can do anything. We just need to put our minds to it and be as disciplined about it like we are with many other things. So, and I know it gets overwhelming. Let me tell you, being a mom, I know your kids are all over you. Some people don't have supporting partners, so they don't even have time to themselves to do anything. They have careers that are demanding. So a list of your worries is what? Is weight sometimes. So I'll tell you, it's really hard. But we do what we can. That's why I always emphasize, I'm not a big fan of going to the gym for 1 hour, because as a mom, sometimes where are you going to get 1 hour to use? First of all, 1 hour at the gym, then there's going, then there is coming back. You're losing so many hours when you put them together. So for me, I always encourage, try to do exercise where you are at home, even if it's 5 minutes every day, 10 minutes every day. It's better than doing 1 hour at the gym once a week, because that one is dead. It's not going to do anything for you. So,
Absolutely.
but the more consistent you are, the better as a mom. So, as a mom, get solutions that can work for you in your context. If you can't go to the gym, perfect. If you can't, because I personally used to do Sukuma, and I used to go maybe twice a week. But then I started out with these people. After I left, like after 2 months, 3 months, I came back, they're still the same weight. Still, I'm like, even things are not working for these guys.
No.
So I realized, if you do exercise twice a week, even if it's for 2 hours, you go back home 5 days without exercising. You're putting in food. After the gym, you take a smoothie. You do Generally, we're just having fun. So do things that work. And even if it means being home, self-motivate you. No one is going to motivate you. And that's what I learned, because I'm a people person. I love dancing with people. But then I realized I can't dance every day. First of all,
Yeah.
it's costly, 20K per session.
Session.
The time, where am I going to get it? Nowhere. So I said, let me do quarantine helped me. I'm like, let me do from home. And I saw results after 30 days. Wow. I even began to develop some abs. I wish I could get them back. I couldn't believe, by myself, using YouTube, I couldn't believe the progress I'd made. But these things of going to aerobics, which once a week,
And
it's
for me,
worth it.
I'm always honest. I work as a trainer in a certain gym. I always tell this mother the truth, because for me it's not about the money. Your 20K you're paying me. It's all about me seeing you get results. I always tell them, instead of you coming to the gym every single day, you're paying your 20,000, and then you're not getting the results at the end of the month. If you know you can keep home and do these exercises that for example, you can come to the gym for 1 week and learn the basic exercises from the gym. And those basic exercises, you can do them from home and be consistent. And of course, I always tell them, you can't out exercise a bad diet. You can't exercise and then when you reach home still eat the same way. You can't, and you never get results. So the truth is, make sure that you exercise, but at the same time, like she said, portion sizes and everything. So Lisa, I need to let you go, but before I let you go, where can people find you first?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Lisa Kusiima, on YouTube, Lisa Kusiima, generally everywhere, Lisa Kusiima. I'll be happy to hear from you. Any questions you might have, you can check out my story highlights on Instagram. I usually leave some tips here and there that can help. Yeah, I'm always here to inspire.
Thank you. Otherwise, this has been a nice stream. I'm excited to have finally had this stream, and I can't wait. I'm just going to, point out those stamps so that people can quickly go to those stamps and watch what's necessary for them. And it's been a nice one. I can't wait to see you on the next one. I don't know. Hopefully, we shall get some time and come back here.
Yeah,
I'm thinking. Hopefully, we shall.
we hope so.
Otherwise, Otherwise, have a nice evening and bye.
Thank you. Bye.